Okay. Pick out page
Good
number.
morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning. We have did the chapter Dust of Snow, right? Have you written the question answers?
No, ma'am.
Did I give you the question answers on Moodle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just write it. Okay, just whenever you get time, write it quickly. Don't wait for the last moment. So yeah, Dust of Snow is over. Now we have to start the next chapter, page number 20, Unit 3. Page number 20. Unit 3. So have you all taken the page numbers? Yes, so we are starting. We are starting. So Unit 3 chapter name is The Starting Point. The Starting Point. So the story is
Ma'am,
of
which page
Milkha Singh. You all know who is Milkha Singh. You must have heard
Ma'am, which
his
page number?
name. Okay. Yes, page number 20. Page number 20, Unit 3, The Starting Point. This chapter is all about Milkha Singh and his life, what he did in his life, his goals, his achievements, etc. You all know who is Milkha Singh? Can anybody tell me?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, man,
Sikh.
the flying man.
Yeah, the Flying Sikh. He is known as the Flying Sikh. So he was a runner. He was a sprinter. We cannot say a runner. He was a sprinter. Now, what is a sprinter means? A sprinter is a person or an athlete who covers short distances. That means sprinter only runs up to short distances, then takes some rest, and then again he runs like that. So he was a sprinter, and he is known as the Flying Sikh. Why Flying Sikh? Because he ran very fastly, covered so many distances, and he won so many medals. Okay, so many achievements he got. So that's why he is known as the Flying Sikh. So let us read this first
Yes,
paragraph.
ma'am.
Yes. Milkha Singh, also known as the Flying Sikh, is a former Indian track and field sprinter. He represented India in the Commonwealth Games in 1958 and the Summer Olympic Games of 1956, 1960, and 64. As a child, he used to run 10 kilometers to school and back, so running long distances came naturally to him. In his youth, he joined the army, where he was introduced to running as a sport. Having found his calling on the track, Milkha Singh went on to win several accolades for India at various international events. He is best remembered for his fourth place finish in the 400 meters final at the 1960 Olympic Games. His fourth place time of the 45.73 seconds became the Indian national record then and was held for almost 40 years. Now, what you understand from this paragraph, he was a sprinter. He used to run short distances, cover short distances, and has won many medals for the sprinting. He has won the Commonwealth Games and the Summer Olympics, everything he won medals. He represented India. Okay, and in his youth time, that means in his age of uh, means 16 or 17, that time he joined the army, the armed forces. Okay, so he was introduced to running as a sport there. Now, he also won several accolades. Accolade means award. Accolades means awards for India at various international events. So he is best remembered for his fourth place finish in 400 meters. So he won many medals were won by Milkha Singh. Okay, his fourth place time of 45.73 seconds. That means in in the duration of 45 seconds, he covered a distance. So it was his highest, highest point or highest mark he could make. Then you can see Milkha Singh second from the left at the Olympics in Rome 1960. Second from the left. Okay, he is Milkha Singh. Now recently he died this year. Okay, you must have heard the news that Milkha Singh passed away at the age of 91 or 92. He passed away. Okay, so he was a very well-known sports person. He was a very well-known sprinter. Okay, he has a film also. On the basis of his life, on his biography, there is a film. Can you name that film? That movie?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Laksh, can you mute your mic? Yes. So I'll name that film. You must have seen that picture, Bhag Milka Bhag. Okay, Bhag Milka Bhag, in which Farhan Akhtar has played the role of Milka Singh. So you must have seen that picture, and if you have not seen, please go and see that picture. Watch that picture. It's based on the biography of Milka Singh. Now come to paragraph one. It's 1, 2, 3 written here. Come to that paragraph. Three fortunate incidents that occurred in January 1953 when I was a new recruit in the army changed the course of my life. Now, when Milkha Singh joined the army, when he was a new recruit means a person who has recently joined a firm, or we can say the armed forces. He has recently joined. Okay, he was very new to that firm, and when he joined army, his life course was changed. Course means the journey, the route. The route of his life changed where three fortunate incidents took place in January 1953. Fortunate means something which are in our side, which are good luck, which happened due to our good luck. So Milkha Singh had his luck in 1953 January. Three fortunate. Fortunate means lucky incidents took place in his life and his route changed. His life route changed very differently when he joined the armed forces. After the morning roll call one Saturday, there was an announcement that a 6-mile race was to be held the next day. All 500 recruits would participate in this event. The top 10 would be exempted from fatigue duty and be given a glass of milk every day during the training period. So, one morning, roll call means calling out the list of names of recruits. Okay, that means we also do a roll call in our classes, roll number 1, 2, 3, like that. So, they did a roll call one Saturday, and uh, a race was arranged. Okay, it was announced that a 6-mile race was to be held. Mile means, what do you understand by mile? Mile means more than 1 kilometer, maybe 1.5, 1.6, like that. So, 6-mile race was to be held on the next day. Just a minute. Yes. So a 6-mile race was held on the next day, and all the 500 recruits, that means there were 500 people who were recently recruited into the armed forces at that time. So all those 500 people were allowed or were required to participate in this event. And the top 10 would be exempted. Exempted means excused from doing a particular duty. Fatigue duty means duties such as cleaning, cooking, etc. Now, you all know, if you have your parents in army or if you have any relatives in army, they are made to do so many works. Cooking also they do by themselves, cleaning also. So these 500 people, it was announced that the top 10 will be exempted. That means they will be excused. They will not have to do the cleaning and the cooking, all the fatigue works. Fatigue means all the tiring works, which brings us tiredness. Okay, so the top 10 will be exempted from those works, cleaning and cooking, and everything, etc., which brings fatigues. Okay, so everyone was supposed to take part in this, and it was also announced that a glass of milk will be given every day during the training period. For whom? For the top 10. Top 10 people, they would be given a glass of milk every day during the training period. Clear? Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the third paragraph. The next morning, we reported at the starting line wearing canvas shoes, vest and khaki shorts. The whistle blew and we set off. Okay. So next morning, announcement was again done. They were all lined up at the starting point, the starting line. The chapter name itself says the starting point. They were lined up wearing a canvas shoe vest. Vest means the upper t-shirt which they wear. Okay, and some khaki shorts. They wore them, and they were ready to race. They were ready to race. The whistle blew, and we set off. Set off means we say no on your mouth, get set, go. So that's what the set off means. The whistle was blew, and they were set off. They started running. Filled with a sense of mission, I ran as fast as I could. The reward of getting a glass of milk was a big treat for me as I had suffered great want and deprivation in my childhood. I took the lead in the first or 2 or 3 miles. So, first let us understand these meanings. Sense of mission means a feeling that he was doing a very important task. Big treat means something that is pleasant and enjoyable. And great want and deprivation means the situation of not having something due to lack of money. So, this Milka Singh, when this whistle blew, when they started running, he Milka Singh, he filled himself with a sense of mission. Okay, he was very eager to complete that race, and he was very eager to get that one glass of milk which he could not afford in his childhood. Okay, great want and deprivation means he was not able, or he was not, no, he could not afford a glass of milk even when during his childhood because of lack of money. Okay, at that time people did not have money that much that they can buy milk and biscuits and all. In today's era, we have everything, we buy everything. Okay, we have money. But at that time, the value of money was very high and people did not have that much money to even buy a glass of milk. So this glass of milk was a big treat to him. Okay, something which was very surprising, pleasant, and enjoyable for him. That's why, thinking of that glass of milk, he ran as fast as he could. He ran very fast. Okay, and he was trying to complete the race. I took the lead in the first 2 or 3 miles. So he was leading in the first 2 3 miles. He was in the lead. I would rest a while if I felt tired and then run again when I saw others catching up. Luck was with me that day and I finished the sixth in the race. That means Milka Singh, he was covering the distance very fastly, and in the first 2 3 miles, he was in the lead. Okay, he was in the lead position. He would rest a while when he felt tired and also started running when he saw others catching up. Catching up means when he saw others running fast. So then he would take rest and then he would again start running. Then luck was with him that day and he finished sixth in the race. That means he got the sixth position in the race. Okay, is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now come to page number 21, fourth paragraph. Yes. The names of the 10 recruits who qualified were announced before a large gathering of almost 300 people. Friends, even strangers, wildly applauded and thumped me on my back, shouting Shabash. I was quite overwhelmed by the attention and appreciation I received that night, and this incident became the starting point of my career as an athlete. Now, that day, okay, so what was told before, the top 10 people will be given glass of milk every day during the training period and they will win awards. So, he was sixth in the race. His position was sixth in the race. So, he was also among those 10 people. So that day, a ceremony was organized where all these names were announced. They were awarded. They were, you know, people just thumped on their back. Thumped means hit on their back, applauded. They praised them for winning medal and for like achieving this sixth position. People were praising Milkha Singh, and he was quite very impressed by the by the surrounding, by whatever was happening that day. The people who used to praise him, he was very much surprised and excited. Okay. Then some said Sabash. I was quite overwhelmed by the attention and appreciation. That means the worth he was getting, he was very overwhelmed. He was very happy by the worth he was getting. Okay, everyone told him, Shabash, you did great. And he received a lot of appreciation that night. And this incident, that means this the position which he gained in this during this race, this incident became the starting point of his career. Okay, people started knowing Milka Singh. People started knowing the person named Milka Singh is very good at running. He's a sprinter. Like that, people started knowing him. His worth was known everywhere, and that was the starting point of his life. Okay, then, fifth paragraph. As part of our training, we had to run 6 miles every day. I eagerly looked forward to the end of the practice sessions when we would get the promised glass of milk. Our instructor was Havaldar Gurudev Singh, who had been with the army recruits, sorry, who had been with the army for about 15 years. Although his task was to train new recruits, he was a good runner himself and he continued to participate in races. So during their training period, they had to run every day for 6 miles. Okay, 6 miles they ran every day during their training period. And they eagerly looked forward. Who? Milkha Singh. He eagerly looked forward to the end of the practice session. Eagerly means in a desired way, strangely. Okay, in desiring something, desiring strongly. He looked forward for that promised glass of milk because they were told that top 10 people would be getting a glass of milk every day and they will be exempted from the fatigue courses, the different things which they have to do, which they are supposed to do. So Milka Singh was very eagerly waiting for that glass of milk which was promised. Then their instructor, who was Gurudev Singh, Havaldar Gurudev Singh was their instructor, and he was also in the army for about 15 years, and his task was to train the newly recruited people. He used to train them, he used to command them to run and to practice, but he was a trainer also, but he was also a good runner, so he used to run along with them. Okay, he was a very good person most of the time. He used to, more sportsmanship. We talk about sportsmanship. So he was very into sportsmanship and he used to run along with those people whom he used to train. Okay? He was not only commanding over them, but he also used to run with those new recruits. Okay, with the new people who have recently joined the army. So he would also participate in the races. Then, sixth paragraph. Gurudev was a taciturn, no nonsense kind of a man. His tough exterior hid his softer, gentler side. He would run with us during training sessions, prodding us with a danda, shouting, "Run, boys, run! Run for our regiment!" I strongly believe that he was instrumental in motivating me to strive to become a world class athlete. Even today, when I think of his danda, I bow my head in respect. So this man, Gurudev, okay, Havada Gurudev Singh, who was the instructor, he was a taciturn, no nonsense kind of man. Means reserved, okay, someone who don't speak much, an introvert kind of person, and a no nonsense. That means a serious and direct person. He would not say any nonsense. He was very serious about his task. He seriously instructed people. He seriously motivated them all through their journey. He motivated them. He was with them. Okay, he used to run with them during the training sessions. So he was very a dedicated kind of person towards the service. Then So this Milka Singh, he was remembering that he would the Havaldar, this man, Gurudev Singh used to run with them during the training sessions, prodding us with a danda. Prodding means gently urging them to run faster. Okay, danda means a stick. You all know danda means a stick. So when we don't study, our parents use danda, right? They also prod us. They also urge us to learn fast and to do the homework fast and in a nice manner. So everyone uses a danda so that the opposite person feels something seriousness. Okay, feels something serious and they do the thing properly. That's why they use a danda. Okay. So here also Gurudev Singh, he took his danda and he used to tell all of them, all the people who were running, he used to tell them, run boys, run for our regiment. Regiment means the unit of soldiers in the army. Okay, unit of soldiers, run for our regiment, run for our pride, run for our purpose. We have a purpose. We are in the army. You have to run. You have to build your stamina. Okay, so this man, this who Milka Singh, he strongly believed that this man, Havaldar Gurudev Singh, was a strong, instrumental, and motivating person. Okay, instrumental means who played an important part in their lives. He was very motivating, and he motivated Milka Singh to strive for becoming a world class athlete. Strive means make efforts to achieve. Okay, strive meaning make efforts to achieve. So Gurudev Singh, he motivated Milka Singh to strive for things he wanted in life, and he made him a world-class athlete. So even today when he think of Gurudev Singh and his danda, he bows his head in respect. Okay? When we see an elder, we say them namaste. So how we say them namaste? We bow our head in respect first, and then we join our hands and say namaste. Similarly, Milka Singh also, he bows his head when he remembers Gurudev Singh and his danda and his motivational speeches, his motivational acts. Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. Yes. So, yeah, we discussed the sixth paragraph. Come to seventh one. 6 weeks ago, 6 weeks into our training, the center held a cross country race. In this event, Gurudev came first and I came second. Again, I became the cynosure of all eyes. I was 20 or 21 at that time, but looked much younger. So, 6 weeks into our training, 6 weeks. That means many weeks passed. That means almost 1.5 month passed, and their training was ongoing. That time, a cross country race was held. Now, what is a cross country race? Across the fields or open country and not on roads or on a track. That means across a field, across the open country, a race was organized. So in that, Gurudev, who was their mentor, Gurudev came first and Milka Singh came the second position. He achieved the second position. And again, he was the cynosure of all eyes. That means everyone was focusing him. He was getting all the attention. He was getting all the shabashi. Okay, we give shabashi. So he was the person who was getting all the shabashi for achieving the second position in the race. Okay. Then at that time he was 20 or 21. That means his age was 20 or 21, and he looked very much younger. He did not look that old. That means 20, 21. That time we look a bit older, but he looked younger at that time. Okay, why? Because he used to run every time. Okay, he used to run and run and run every time. So running made his physique was a different one. Okay, nice height, thin body, not very much thin. But yeah, exactly a needed body which everyone would like to have. Okay, with some muscles, then looking great, handsome, handsome young man. Okay, so he was at that time he looked very much younger. I was asked to take part in the brigade meet in Hyderabad, where I was asked to run in the 400-meter event. I was greatly surprised because I did not even know what 400 meters meant. I had always run 6 miles, but it was during the brigade meet that the second incident occurred, which made me even more determined to become a good athlete. In the first practice run in Hyderabad, I took off my canvas shoes and ran barefoot. Now, what happened after this? After this cross country race, when he won the second prize, he was asked, who Milka Singh was asked to take part in the brigade meet in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, a brigade meet was conducted. Brigade means brigade is a group of army peoples. Okay, so he was an army, so he was allowed or he was asked to take part in that brigade meet. So, and he was also asked to run for 400 meters. Now, at that time, he was very shocked. He was surprised because he didn't knew what does 400 meters means. Because he always ran for 6 miles, so he did not know what does 400 meters meant then. But it was during the brigade meet that the second incident took place in his life, and he was more determined to become a good athlete. In the practice session in Hyderabad, he took off his shoes. That means he removed his shoes and he ran barefoot. Barefoot means nange pav chalna. So he ran barefoot. Gurudev clapped his hands for me to start. I did and clocked 63 seconds. I was eager to run 4 more rounds. After all, that was what I used to running 6 miles every day. So running a quarter mile seemed far too easy. Now, what happened? Milka Singh, he used to run 6 miles every day. 6 mile means 1 mile is equals to 1.5. So how much is 6 mile? More than 6 meters. Sorry,
Ma'am, which para number?
paragraph number 7 on page number 21. Page number 21. The last paragraph, paragraph 7. A big paragraph is there. We are reading the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 12th line. Okay. Gurudev clapped his hands for me to start. I did and clocked 63 seconds. Now, he started running. Now, he used to run 6 miles every day. So, 6 miles is more than 400 meters race. So, for Milka Singh, it was very easy to cover that 400-meter race. So, his timing, which was recorded in the clock, was 63 seconds. Before that, when during the Commonwealth Games and all, his record was 40 or something, 40 or 45 seconds. But here it was 63 seconds. It was recorded as 63 seconds, and it was very easy for him. Why? Because he used to run 6 miles a day. So running a quarter mile seemed very far easy to him. I continued to practice for many days to improve my time, and soon I was running 400 meters in less than a minute. So he continued his practice, and soon he started running, and he covered the 400-meter race in less than a minute. That means he did not take a minute, even a minute, to complete that 400-meter race. Okay, so his speed was very fastened, and that's why he is known as the Flying Sikh. Okay, he was very fast, very speedy when he ran. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah. So come to page number 22. Next page number, 8th paragraph. The day of the meet dawned bright and clear. As I made my way to the stadium, I noticed some men who were surrounded by senior officers and their families. Okay, let us do one thing. Is anybody interested in reading this paragraph? Paragraph number 8? Anyone?
Ma'am.
Okay, Virendra?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you will read, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on page number 22, paragraph 8, Virendra will read that whole paragraph and then we will discuss. Yes, Virendra.
The day of the meet dawned bright and clear as I made my way. The stadium I noticed some men who were surrounded by senior,
Senior. By senior
senior
officers.
officers and their families. The men were vest with India written on them in bold letters. They seemed to have an air an air of power and what's this?
Prestige. Prestige.
Prestige about them. I was very what's this?
Curious.
Curious to know who they were. I was told later that they were athletes who had represented India in international sporting events. That was my Eureka moment. I made a
Solemn.
sol- solemn promise to myself that I would not rest until I earned a place in that special world to the world of India. Athletes who had the
Privilege.
privilege of representing their country. I wanted to wear blazers and vests with the name of my country written on them. I resolved that I would make my country proud of me.
Yes. Okay, Virendra. Okay. Very good, Virendra. So from now onwards, you will do like this. Okay, one person will read the paragraph. That will be interesting because when I am only reading the paragraphs, that will be very boring for me also, for you also. That's why we will try to interact more. So Virendra has read this paragraph for us. Now we will discuss 2 3 lines. Okay. So the day of meet dawned bright and clear. As I made the way to the stadium, I noticed some men who were surrounded by my senior officers and their family. Now they went to the stadium for running purpose, and they saw some senior officers, some men who were surrounded by senior officers and their family members. And these men were wearing vest in which was written what was written there? India. Okay, they were representing India. They were representing India. Our country, India, was represented by those people, and in bold red letters it was written India. You must have seen some jerseys. Now also Olympics game was, it was going, Olympics was going through, and you must have seen the winners. Have you seen their jerseys? India is written in bold letters. That means they are representing this country, India. And they seem to have an air of power and prestige. That means they seemed very important and much respected and admired by others. These people, they were already some winners. So these people who were wearing these jerseys of India, they seemed more powerful and prestigious. Okay, that means more respected athletes. They were more respected and admired by others. It was very curious to know who were they. I was told later that they were athletes who has represented India in international sporting events. So these people who were in these jerseys or vests, we can say, they were the athletes who has already represented India in the international level. Okay, so that was his Eureka moment. Eureka moment means the time when he realized what he wanted to become in life. Just a minute. Yes. So this moment when he knew that these people, they were the people who won prizes and who represented India in the international level, this was a very eureka moment for Milkha Singh. Eureka moment means when he realized what he wanted to become in life. He would also like to become an athlete who will represent India one day, who will win medals for India one day. So a motivation started in himself. Okay, he was motivated by the people there, by his mentor Gurudev Singh. Okay, he was motivated by all of them, and it was a eureka moment for him. And he made a solemn promise. Solemn means a sincere promise to himself that he would not rest until he would earn a place in the special games in happening in the world, or in the different types of different kinds of events which are taking place internationally. He would not take rest until and unless he would participate and he would win medals. Okay, so he was very much confident, he was very much motivated by the people around him. Now, the world of Indian athletes who had the privilege of representing their country. Privilege means an opportunity, a very pleasant opportunity or a pleasure. Like if we are allowed to represent our country, that will be a great, immense pleasure for all of us, right? Everybody will feel proud of themselves. Okay, you will feel proud of yourself that you are representing the country India. So similarly, Milka Singh also was very, very proud and very, focused. He was very privileged. He would find him very privileged, very pleasured if he would be able to represent his country. And he wanted to wear blazers and vests with the name written, okay, with the name India written on his vest, or we can say the jersey. I resolved that I would make my country proud of me. So that day he took an oath. Like resolve means he was very confident. He told himself, he was very self-confident that he will make India proud. Okay, he will make India one day, he will make India proud. Okay. So as you all know, Olympics also, Commonwealth Games also, our athletes and some teams, hockey teams, cricket teams, everyone has won so many prizes, so many medals. This Olympic, all the individual games, we got so many medals in the individual games, wrestling, badminton, okay, this thing, javelin throw, everything we got so many medals. So similarly, Milka Singh at that time he was very resolved. He took an oath that he will represent his country and he will make the country proud of him. Okay, so this was about the games which were held, the international games, and the oath of Milka Singh which he took by himself, not in front of anyone, but he was guaranteeing himself that he will make India proud. Is this much clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the next paragraph we will do it tomorrow. Today time is over. We will stop here. Okay, not tomorrow. Whenever is your next class, we will do the next paragraph. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.